Hello, everyone, Pokemon trainers and fans the world over. Welcome to the finals match here at the Pokemon Trading Card Game Bremen Regional Championships 2022. I'm Freya Pierce. I'm here one last time with Amy Wosley to close out what has been an absolute stonker of a tournament.
It's been wild. We've had so many twists and turns, amazing decks made just a few nights before the tournament, and here one of them is in the finals.
Yes, one of the, in fact, the only person to pilot this deck all the way through to day two, and then actually, progress further even all the way here to the finals. So the one out of the few that made it all the way through, and a very, very impressive list it is. Of course, we're talking about Philip Schulz and his new Arceus V-Star Cinccino Jolteon deck.
It's very impressive, and of course, who else but Kai to pilot a Mew deck into the finals.
Yes, so this is really Kai Wainwright, the other finalist here. Really, his breakout performance. I was talking with him a little bit beforehand, and over the course of like day two and his other top 8 matches, and he's come very close to the winnings top 8 at the last 2 tournaments he's been in. But this time he's actually made it, and now that he's broken into the top 8, he's managed to make himself all the way to the finals.
And we were surprised to see a Mew here, because we were just speaking with Connor earlier about how we have seen so many Mew, and it's clearly bounced back in popularity. We weren't sure if we were going to see one in the finals, and actually I'm quite glad to see this pop back, because it hasn't performed quite as well, and so clearly it just needed the right driver.
Yeah, the right driver, and I think the right sort of metagame shift as well, because there was, with the shift towards, Urshifu and Arceus variants of Inteleon and other things over the course of the last few tournaments, although dark packages are still around in these decks, they're kind of ticking down a little bit in prevalence, so it was just the right time for Mew to then come back into the format and really shine like it has over the course of this regional championships.
Yeah, absolutely. It just felt like people started to forget about Mew, and then all of a sudden it's bounced back with a vengeance and really shown why it's to be feared and why it's considered one of the best decks in format right now.
Yes, and of course, it's not to discredit at all Philip's deck, of course, the newest, latest variant of Arceus. It seems like every time we come into a new tournament, there's some new variant of Arceus being piloted, kind of intelligently recognizing the kind of shift in the metagame direction to kind of have this Jolteon package to shut off Inteleons whilst having an engine that still works when you're under Jolteon like yourself, with that Cinccino, of course, the make do ability, letting you draw more cards.
And Cinccino's been around for a long time now, so it's surprising that it's taken this long to see it in a prevalent deck right now within the meta. We haven't seen it for a while. It's been overshadowed, and newer, shinier draw support cards have come out since, and I thought we would see more Bibarel and Bidoof this weekend, but no, we've seen an increasing amount of Cinccino, making sure it's getting lots of use before it rotates.
And it's exactly like you said earlier as well. I mean, it is especially funny considering that both the the Shady Dealings Inteleon line and the Make Do Cinccino line both came out in Sword and Shield base set. So it's kind of, Inteleon took a while for it to really sort of kick in and to have its moments, and now it's one of the main engines of the format, and now finally Cinccino gets its moment to shine as well.
It's lovely because it really shows the era of Sword and Shield in its prime.
Yes, very much so.
These cards were designed to live in harmony together, truly. And even all the way back to base set, we're still seeing useful cards coming back and back and back again. And you should never discredit them, but never forget about them, because they are just fantastic, and they'll keep doing you good in every single new deck that you could think of. Yeah,
just makes me wonder what the next surprise Sword and Shield base set re-emergence will be in whatever tournaments there are to come. But here we are going over to our feature match table. You do see there Kai Wainwright on the left, once again paying the Mew VMAX, and then Philip Schulz, as apparently his new nickname is Mongoose Phil, just there with the Arceus Cinccino Jolteon deck, as both players now starting to put out their prize cards, and looking like nothing too unmanageable here from either side, honestly. One Fusion Strike energy for Kai is not perfect, but there's the numbers are manageable.
Absolutely, and looking at an okay start. So Kai's going first this time, starting off strong with their first coin flip of the day.
Yes, so here with the Cramomatic, of course, a card we've seen. It's pretty much a staple Mew at this point. Lets you discard an item card from your hand, flip a coin. If heads, just search your deck for any card, and there is the heads as well. So that's, I imagine, it's going to be going straight for a Battle VIP pass.
It's You've got to, haven't you?
Yes.
Not only is it only usable on this turn, but also it's so useful right now with no cards on the bench at all. So it really is the perfect choice, but also gives Kai the opportunity to search their deck. They're going thoroughly through. This is such an imperative moment.
Yes.
But their prize cards don't look too scary.
No, this is what I was saying earlier, right? It's kind of, if you have, like Kai in one of the games in the top 8 feature match had 2 Fusion Strike Energy prize, that's a little bit more scary, right? Because that means your turn 1 Meloetta plays are a little bit more limited and such. But just 1 Fusion Strike Energy prized, 1 of 2 Meloettas prized, and again, the spread counts are nice enough that they work. Oh, that's 3 Genesects hitting the field.
Already, and a quick ball to get another Mew out or a Meloetta. A really strong start.
Yes.
From Mew here.
No question. So all the fusion Pokemon hitting the field right now, or all the Fusion Strike Pokemon hitting the field, and I think Kai's just kind of deciding between the second Mew and the Meloetta right now. You see, put both at the bottom of the deck, wondering which one's the better one to grab. Does go for the Mew right now.
Every decision is crucial at this point.
And I think this does make sense, right? Because when you're going first, I think you're slightly less worried about getting your Meloetta out as soon as possible. It might be better to even conserve it, especially knowing that Kai has a second one prize, so you can't even like throw 1 into the active just to take a hit. So here goes the Rotom Phone, top 5 cards of the deck. Get to pick one of them and put it on top of the deck, which then of course you can just draw with the Fusion Strike system, and that was a double Turbo Energy that Kai picked. Unless I'm mistaken? No,
it looked like it. So again, getting started with the energy. They can't attack this turn or play a supporter, but they can get as set up as possible and start on those strong draw mechanics before Philip tries to shut it down.
Yes, so Kai obviously in full awareness, I'm sure, of Philip's stacked Path to the Peak package with the full 4 complement, wanting to shut down Kai's abilities as soon as possible. So Kai going to do as much as possible to make sure that he's unaffected by that. And there we go, another Battle VIP pass to thin the deck out even more and finally grab that Meloetta.
Finding that extra VIP pass was fantastic. Finally a full bench, all is well, and hopefully they'll be able to continue using those Fusion Strike systems. They can continue this turn even, so they can get as much use out of it as possible before Philip tries to shut them down. So you're trying to get the perfect hand now for next turn with that in mind is probably Kai's best choice.
Yeah, and ideally Kai would want to end his turn by putting down, playing a Rotom Phone and stacking a Stadium to the top of the deck. That way, if Philip plays a Marnie, then Kai has a Stadium, from the Marnie, and if Philip doesn't play a Marnie, Kai just draws a Stadium anyway, and so he has the Pass to the Peak counter either way.
Yeah, it's one of the beautiful things about Rotom Phone, and it's got some options in hand. It's got Cramomatic as well, which again could be used next turn, so that's already good.
But Kai opting to pass there, got the energy and the choice belt down, feeling pretty content with that. And now it's going to be on Philip to see how he's able to put in a response here. So Level Ball is the first card that's played. It's going to enable him to search through the deck. Of course, they're not going to be searching for an Eevee that anytime soon. I imagine probably going to be grabbing another Minccino.
Yeah, very likely. We have seen Philip use the Eevee in unfavorable matchups, though. They've been using it a lot to offer as a escape rope sacrifice.
Right.
So they have been playing the Eevee, but prioritizing 2 to 3 Minccino, and 1 to 2 RCS at any one time. So that's generally what they've been going for. But from what I've seen, their kind of perfect field is 2 RCS, 3 Minccino, and surprisingly still the 1 Eevee.
Yeah. So there we go. Although in this instance, Philip wasting no time grabbing Minccino number 2, or rather Minccino number 2 and Minccino number 3. So going to have plenty to make do with at a later stage of the game. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I did it again, didn't I?
Honestly, it's interesting to see because 3 seems to be the magic number.
Yes.
For both of them, 3 Genesect
and 3 Cincinos.
And 3 Cinccino, and that's their draw support, and drawing cards is so powerful in Pokemon.
And here it is, exactly like we talked about. Here comes the Marnie. No Path to the Peak yet, so Philip does need to find it off of the Marnie, but this is sort of part 1 of 2 of exactly what he wants to hit against Kai.
To slow that Mew down. They got 2 Rotom Phone by the look of that, but they didn't seem to get counter Stadium. So if Stadium can be played, oh dear, that is a heavy supporter hand for Philip. That's not nice.
So yeah, no Path to the Peak, not much to really do us all other than attach to the active and just go for that Call for Family, which will at least get Philip a couple more basics, which You want to be getting out his Arceus, of course, and those will go straight onto the bench. So next turn they become Arceus V-Stars, and he can get something going, but probably would have liked to do a little bit more than that, I imagine.
Well, apparently this is one of the reasons that Philip loves the deck, because instead of the B-Barrel engine, the Minchinos do something, and they're useful, and they get either their friends, other Minchino, or God itself, Arceus, down onto the bench, and they're so valuable that it's got a usable attack.
It's a heck of a family to call for, isn't it?
It very much is, yeah. It's a strange family, but a family nonetheless.
Yes. So, yeah, the core family there, grabbing the 2 Arceus Vs are great, exactly like you just said, a really great opportunity, or rather, it is a great opportunity that they're playing this Chinchino engine lends you by having an actual useful pre-evolution to your evolution that draws you cards. And meanwhile, Kai finds another double turbo energy. Quick build discarding Battle VIP Pass, great stuff. Definitely don't want to see those later on, so discarding them as quickly as possible is optimal. And with a full bench, probably just going to use this look at the deck and then not grab anything.
Yeah, Kai's got an interesting hand as well, because they already have a Rose Tower, but don't want to commit it too early.
Oh, of course. And
actually, of all of the Path to the Peaks Philip plays.
Yeah, you can't afford to. You have to really, every time you have to play a stadium, it has to be a counter to a Path to the Peak, because otherwise you get to a game state where you're locked onto the Path to the Peak and there's nothing you can do. But actually, Kai thinning out one Mew from the deck with the first quick ball, then discarding it with a second quick ball to then grab nothing, and now going for a Rotom Foam.
Yeah, absolutely. And still 2 Genesect left to use, so they can stack 1 card on the top of their deck. From that, shuffle the rest in, pop it on top, and immediately draw it with Fusion Strike System.
Yeah. And I imagine an ideal turn here for Kai would be to get a Mew VMAX and a Boss's Orders. That way, Kai could use that to just take the lead in the game. And there is the Boss's Orders already. So with that choice belt on the benched Mew V, all that's needed now is 1 Mew VMAX, and Kai can take the first 2 prizes of the game.
Strong lead.
So
a very strong lead.
Let's see, and I believe was that it? Yeah, there's the Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball will get Kai there, so gonna play that, yeah, discarding probably, imagine the Mew, don't need that anymore, and the Quick Ball. It's a bit tricky because you might want it to hand fin later, but I think you kind of have to keep the Pal Pad and the Rose Tower and the Escape Rope, honestly. So, yeah, going to be discarding those 2. Grabs the Mew VMAX, and with that, Kai can just evolve the bench, retreat, and get the KO with Techno Blast, copied from Cross Fusion Strike.
It could be difficult for Philip to recover.
Yes.
Because they don't have much energy acceleration on Arceus V. So it could be a little bit difficult for them. They run 1 Melanie. There's no Water Energy in discard pile right now.
Oh, you're right, there isn't. So, yeah, 1 Melanie and 1 Raihan, but not really able to make use of either of them right now. Maybe a retreat from the Minchino could get Philip there?
It's very true. Yeah, it depends on their hand. I believe they got the Raihan in hand, so that could be enough. And I believe they might have a Chinchino as well, unless it's an Eevee. They're quite similar colors from this angle. I think it's going to be some tough decision-making as to whether they go for it or not. It was the Eevee.
Yeah, and kind of like you said just earlier, actually opting to bench it, even though it's not something that really comes into effect with the Jolteon's ability in this matchup, actually just promoting it to, yeah, maybe almost like having that sort of sacrificial role, essentially, and just enabling the prize race to, in fact, going for the V-Search.
Ah, that's interesting.
Right.
Yes. It's nice to see Eevee getting a little bit of a highlight. V-Search will let Philip search for 3 V cards and put them in his hand.
Yeah, although, I mean, there could have been an argument to go for a line where you Raihan onto the Arceus V, use the search to get the V-Star, and then Starburst. Oh, wait, so the V-Star was in hand already, I see.
Very handy. Very handy.
Wait, in fact, so that's quite interesting. So then what's Philip planning here by Raihanning to the Eevee?
I'm not entirely sure.
Because
I'm sure he's got something cooked up.
Yeah, so, because, yeah, clearly he realized that the best thing to do was to Raihan for the V-Star. But then if you're going to do that, surely you can just attach to the Arceus V, and then that way you can Starburst for the double turbo and have an attack going.
I suppose what his concern might have been is that he can't accelerate energy from the Arceus attack onto anything right now.
That's a good point, yeah.
So it might well be that he would rather wait and use that Arceus's attack when he can accelerate, when he can use it for its full effect, because Mew can one-hit KO an Arceus V in the right situation.
Yes.
And the Arceus V cannot one-hit KO back.
Yeah.
So I think all things considered, he's happier being patient and making sure that he's got a second Arceus ready rather than
sort of going
too
in
much,
with it
going
too early.
in too strong.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what's happening. And
Yeah.
obviously then he's going to pop the path to peak down, trying to slow Kai down in the meantime.
Yeah.
So I think he's just playing slow and steady wins the race. And we've seen him pull it off before.
Yeah.
There is something to be said for being too greedy.
Yeah, it does make sense because, yeah, exactly. It might be one thing to get an attack in with the Arceus V-Star, but if you have nothing decent to attach with the Trinity Nova, then you're kind of just doing 200 and then you're at risk of losing your only attacker and then not being able to make a recovery. So from that perspective, yeah, absolutely makes sense. But now it's going to make it extra important for Kai to find a boss's orders to bring up the Arceus V-Star with enough damage mods to do another Technoblast knockout.
Which gives Kai a lot to do in one turn.
It does.
They have immediately countered the path to the peak, though, which was their main obstacle. So it is possible, but there's going to be a lot of moving parts here to make it happen.
Yeah. So in fact, there is one of those moving parts. Power tablet comes in. In fact, was there 2 power tablets in hand already?
I think there might be, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting how Kai chose not to play the one that was already there. Maybe worried that if there's a miss here, the power tablets could be wasted.
Yeah, I think overcommitting your resources could be fatal in a match that's so important.
Here, Kai could echoing horn back the Arceus V. I think he's just deciding how much Finning is right and how much isn't, essentially. So 2 power tablets. Yeah, going to play both of those now. So that Technoblast is now with the choice. I believe that's actually now enough with the choice belt to get the KO. Because that would be 190 plus 90 is 280. That's an exact knockout. Yeah, so the free damage modifiers is what you need. And there's the boss. Wow. So Kai taking a commandingly strong lead here with everything needed to really try and start to shut the door on Philip and take game 1.
The interesting thing is as well, because they've only committed 2 power tablets to that, they've got 2 for later.
They do, it's true.
And they could do this all over again.
Yeah, and that's a big, big problem for Philip. I mean, Philip can't even get out an Arceus V-Star next turn regardless, but even so, Kai is definitely in the driving seat here, no question about it. And as we see, just even though he has everything he needs already, just going for more Fusion Strike systems, why not? Just load up your hand with even more resources. There's the retreat into the Mew VMAX with the Choice Belt, and give me Technoblast for an exact knockout on the Arceus V-Star.
You'd love to see it. That takes so much skill to sequence that turn perfectly like that. And again, not overcommitting those power tablets. They're so important. If he didn't hit it, if he didn't get enough of them but had already played one down, that's an opportunity to do that twice gone.
Yes, and that's going to be and that's sort of exactly Kai would have had that in mind when going through that, to sort of do exactly the right amount needed to get where he needs to go without overcommitting and leaving not enough resources to finish out the game. And yeah, Marnie, of course, very important right now. But Philip, once again, needs to find a path to the peak. That's the kind of... If path to the peak sticks, Philip has more than a good chance of a comeback, because at that point, the Kai's deck really starts to struggle. But if Philip doesn't find it, Kai can just honestly dig for another boss's orders and win the game.
Yeah, Kai's in the driving seat right now, but Philip can steal it back.
Yes. So let's see, what did Philip get? I imagine... I don't see a path to the peak there. What is that? Is that free evolution in sense?
It really is. It's 3 evolution in sense. A water energy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Okay, but he has 3 make do's here, so.
Oh, and 2 quick balls.
So, imagine Philip is going to be digging with these make do's to try and find his path to the peak. I mean, for goodness sake, he plays 4 of them, right? Surely he finds one of this.
Another quick ball and a Sharon's Care.
One more. 1, 2. No.
No. There was a big charm and something else, but I didn't quite spot it.
Unbelievable. So Philip Schulz, after the Marnie and 3 make do, so drawing 11 cards total, still doesn't find the path to the peak.
And Eevee's helping out again. Eevee's nipping back into that deck, grabbing 2 Arceus V stuff for them with V search.
Yes. Oh goodness me. Okay, so Kai just needs what is it? I think 2 damage modifiers and a boss's order to win here. there is the boss as well.
Boss in hand, so if they can get... Well, yeah, it's the big charm that's helping a lot here, isn't it? Because it's only a V, it's not a V star, the Arceus.
Yeah, so there's the retreat, and...
they're just taking the knockout on the Eevee. They're like, I only need to do one more thing now.
Yeah,
and actually keeping the boss for next turn guarantees them the win because they can knock out the Chinchino.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So actually just kind of playing it safe, and that's what's going on.
Might be a little bit of confusion.
There was a Fusion Strike system for 6? Oh, I think Kai might have... No, that does make sense, right? You just... Oh, no, there's 7 in the hand. Right, so I think Kai might have accidentally drawn up to 7 with the Fusion Strike system. Oh no.
Dear.
So it's, yeah, I think... We'll have to see how this gets resolved exactly. So the judges, of course, like working on this now.
Yeah, we do have amazing dedicated table judges right now, so they will be doing their best to keep an eye on the game. But that's an easily missed thing with all of the shuffling and cards moving around a lot in Mew. There's a lot of moving pieces.
Yes, and sort of it can be very easy to just, accidentally do just a move like this. You just draw one card too many, and all of a sudden, yeah, you just land yourself in a situation like this. So the judges are working to resolve this as quickly as they can. Just whilst this is going on, let's sort of talk about that last turn from Kai there. So Kai could have chosen to go all in and just dig for the last 2 power tablets to get the KO, but Kai also recognizes that just taking one knockout here means that you can then, at any point, boss's orders without having to find a single damage modifier and win the game by knocking out one of the Chinchinos. So
and Philip can't one-hit KO back, and they're very, very aware of that. And even if they do, they're going to have to boss a Genesect and take 2 prize cards, which still doesn't put Philip anywhere near the win condition they're going to need. No,
absolutely not. So, yeah, very, very smart there from Kai. The only worry for Kai here would have been, I don't know, maybe a potential Marnie disrupting something. That would have, that would have been the only sort of counter to Kai's move right there.
But even then, without a part of the peak in play to back it up, I can just keep digging again and keep going and try and find that boss's orders all over again. Yeah.
Although you'd like to, surely after, 6, drawing another Marnie and 3 more make dues, surely this time Philip would have found it. I mean, he doesn't even have any paths to be prized.
No, you would hope so, because they really haven't seen many this game, even with all that digging from all that making do.
Yes. It's pretty insane. So
it really is. So yeah, it's just a testament to the deck, really. That and it really goes to show how luck is involved as well.
Yeah,
because no matter what, those cards, that 60 card deck is shuffled and upside down, and they can come out in any order.
They can.
Every deck can brick.
Yeah. So I think there's some kind of discussion as to sort of how the sequence of events went that kind of resulted in the 7-card hand. Something, it's kind of, I wish we could have a sort of better understanding of what is really going on, because we can't really sort of hear what's going on at the table, but of course we will keep you informed as this judge call progresses. It did look like that Kai just drew 1 card too many off the Fusion Strike system, though.
We'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah.
It's such an easy thing to miss.
So there we go. I think it's agreed that the Cram-O-Matic was the extra card drawn. It's not getting shuffled into the deck because it kind of was agreed that that was the extra card, so it goes back on top of the deck because obviously Kai couldn't draw it. And I think that will probably be either a caution or warning or maybe a 2-prize penalty. It kind of depends. It's probably not a good idea to speculate. Of course, the judges know better than we do here, but it's it could... sort of, I think because the card didn't have to be shuffled back into the deck, I think it's a slightly less harsh penalty usually, from what I recall at least.
Yeah, the judge is always going to do their best to rewind the state of play before a decision is made to see the severity of it. The further the state of play has progressed, the more complicated the judge call gets. Hopefully we'll get a result soon, and the judge team will be able to let us know. So Kai's taken their prize card now, so it looks like play might have resumed.
Yes, so it looks like Kai has now taken the prize card with the sort of the judge call is now resolved, and we can now carry on with the game. Oh, okay. So actually, I guess we kind of missed it in the speed. So what happened was Kai drew a card from the deck instead of the prize cards. That's what happened there.
Oh, no worries. I see. So yeah, that was. So maybe it was a little bit easier to find out exactly which card that was.
Yeah.
These players are, it's been a really long weekend. A lot of them have travelled very far and very late at night even. So they're probably very exhausted, trying to focus a lot. Yeah, this has been quite the big weekend for them, really. So
Yes,
it's
it really has.
simple mistake to make.
Yeah, it really, really is. So, and okay, so we have the penalty confirmed now. Because it was an easy thing to reverse and to resolve, it's just a warning. So no prize penalties here. Kai getting the warning, the card going back on top of the deck, and now play will resume. And Philip, just concedes, acknowledges that he can't really do anything, and Kai shows he had the boss's orders anyway to take the win. So Kai Wainwright will win game 1, and now we are going into game 2.
Absolutely. Thankfully, only need to issue a warning there. Kai needs to remember to grab their last prize card off the prize card window. Oh, and Philip's helping out. So isn't that lovely?
Very kind.
It's nice to see when players are genuinely here to have a good game and be good sports.
Yes, absolutely. So here we go. Yeah, I think actually that's a really good point to mention here, that because essentially the way it's set up here, the prize cards are on the sort of kind of the different side to how it usually be when you're playing game Pokemon. So intuitively speaking, it can sometimes just be easy to just sort of make that mistake, I think. So
the prize cards are also quite far away from the players. From where I would normally have mine, for example, when I'm playing, it's quite jarring to have them not only not on your playmat, but actually a good arm's reach away. So it is a little bit jarring to have them on the prize cam there. So
yeah, when you have like that muscle memory, right, of the thinking, oh yeah, of course, I just
yeah, and that simple mistake yesterday where 12 prize cards were put out by one player.
12 prize cards?
They put 6 on the prize cam and then 6 on their playmat, because when they looked at their playmat, their brain said, "Oh, your prize cards aren't there, silly." And so he put them down. Luckily, play had not begun yet before people realised.
Okay.
So it was super easy to fix. We just put them back in the deck and shuffled and carried on. So they hadn't drawn their hand or anything yet. Well, they could just restart, basically.
Yeah.
The judge just ruled to go again. But it's a strangely easy mistake to make.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious, and it just got to show it can happen to anyone, right? But
absolutely.
Yeah. So Kai is taking game 1 down pretty convincingly, I might add. So Philip now has to try and sort of mount some kind of response here. Like, what does Philip do differently to try and make a comeback here? Because I think the tricky part was that he just didn't really get enough Arceuses down quickly enough.
Yeah, I think that was the issue. The Arceus wasn't able to accelerate to another one, and that was what was holding him back.
Yes,
because he really wanted to be able to get the next one set up. And attacking a Mew with an Arceus without the acceleration onto the next one is such a difficult situation to be in.
Oh, some not ideal prizes for Philip. One of the Pass to the Peaks there, and also a 1-1 Arceus line. Meanwhile, 2 escape ropes from Kai. I think this is probably one of those matchups where it's not quite as consequential, but still.
No, Philip's very guarded against those escape ropes.
Yeah.
They play a lot of basics, making sure that they are guarded against them all the time.
Yes.
So it's really crazy to see those in the prizes, because actually, maybe that's some of the perfect situation for the escape rope to be drawn, right?
Yeah, maybe so. So, in any case, Philip's going to be going first, of course, in this game 2. Probably going to be really digging for that turn 1 path to the peak and trying to really stop Kai from being able to do anything. We haven't had a good chance to look at Kai's hand yet, so it's we have no idea of whether there's a counter stadium in hand ready to go for him, but Philip's going to be wanting to find that turn 1 path regardless. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's essential to Philip's strategy to make sure that they are shutting down those Fusion Strike systems, especially with only 1 Genesect on board currently.
Yes.
Hopefully, Kai has some VIP battle passes or some ball search to strengthen that bench situation.
Yeah, and also, oh no, bad news for Philip. I don't see a way for him to get the path to the peak. It's not in his hand, and I don't see a way for him to find one either. So actually, Kai will have at least 1 turn of basically doing Mew things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. You don't want to let Mew get rocking and rolling because it will just steamroll the competition. It is so fast when it's set up. You can slow it down. And that's what Philip's deck is set up to do.
Yes.
So fingers crossed, especially with the amount of single prizes that Philip plays. The prize trade can be really interesting in this one, which is why Arceus stands a chance, even though it doesn't one-hit KO that Mew.
Yeah, so there we go. Arceus down with the 1 energy. That's very important, of course, that turn 1 energy drop on the Arceus V. Two Minchinos down. Going to be pretty happy about that as well. But not to think much else other than that. Just kind of it looks to be a quick ball, which, yeah.
I think he might go for a third Chinchino, you know. He loves to get those 3 Chinchino out turn 1, and it's been paying off.
Yeah, it has. And so, yeah, 3 of them down. And I believe the last card in hand is a Chinchino. So it's not great in the sense that, you know, it's just 1 card in hand, but at least you guarantee draw 2 to try and find a way out of this hand afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think they're too worried. They know that whatever the top deck is, if it's not very helpful, they can start hopefully comboing maybe some make do's as well. So,
yeah. But then if the make do draws nothing, then you start to get worried.
Yeah, very much so. Alternatively, you know, Call for Family isn't awful still for them. So if they do manage to get 1 energy onto the Minchino, that's a possibility.
Oh, Kai's to Marnie.
Wow.
Okay, so Philip bailed out pretty massively here as Kai has nothing to work with, and just Marnie's stacking a specific card to the top of the deck with the Rotom Phone. So probably going to be, oh yeah, that's a Cramomatic. So going to probably use that, discarding what to be a Power Tablet. Yeah, Power Tablet, because you have plenty of those available, and really going to be hoping for a heads here. Probably really wants to hit that turn 1 Battle VIP pass. It
is rough though using up a Power Tablet, because as we've established, Kai can go for 2 Arceus V-Star if they have all 4 available to them.
Yes.
So ditching 1 like this means they are reserving themselves to not one-hit KOing 2 Arceus V-Star.
Yes, but oh no, big trouble for Kai. That Cramomatic was in fact a Tails. So now having to quick ball, discarding one of the 2 remaining cards in his hand to grab a Mew, and hope that this Fusion Strike system for 1 card gets him where he needs to be.
Oh, that's really stressful. And Philip's in an interesting situation here as well, because they've had their Minchino taken away, their Chinchino taken away from them. And I'm not sure what their hand is. They might not have access to the Chinchino this time.
Maybe not, but I think I'd rather have a 4-card hand than the 1-card hand of a Minchino. Okay, so there is a choice belt. So actually it's going to be 2 off the Fusion Strike system. Can Kai find anything off this? Oh, Rose Tower! That's fantastic. And an energy too. So, yeah.
Sometimes committing the Rose Tower this early could be a mistake, but Kai
in this instance
needs this.
Yeah.
These 3 cards could be crucial.
And they're all not very useful, though. So Echoing Horn, another Rose Tower, and it's what was even that 3rd card? I completely missed it. It was something unplayable. That's not going to get Kai anywhere right now.
No.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So... And actually, Philip finds a level ball off of that hand that he got Marnied into. Kai may have really sort of bailed himself out and rather bailed himself in and kind of scuppered his chances and bailed Philip out into a much better hand.
Yeah, seeing that Chinchino straight away, Philip's going to immediately be able to start digging for a path to the peak here, and if they can hit it, oh my word, it's going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Into another Marnie.
Yeah, so...
more search and more chance for Chinchinos, more making do opportunities.
So now Philip bailing Kai out. It's been back and forth with that. Now, the one potential downside for this is that Kai did actually have another Rose Tower in hand, which he used to counter any path to the peak that comes out. Kai's new hand doesn't have a stadium in it. So if Philip has a path to the peak here, that could spell trouble for Kai. I don't see it in Philip's hand though, so he would have to dig for it with the make do.
It's a very interesting situation. We've got another Arceus joining the bench there, which is exactly what Philip wants. They always want those 2 Arceus so they can complement each other.
Yeah.
And then they kind of loop them.
Yes.
Which is great. So they let one take a little bit of damage, Sharon's care it. The other one's already got energy on from the previous attack. Evolve it into the one that just got put into hand. And then bench the V again, and and then they cycle those Arceus, which is perfect for dealing with Mew.
Yeah, so super strong here. We do see sort of Philip making use of Kai's Rose Tower, and then make do number 1, make do number 2. Does he find the path to the peak? I don't think I saw it, but it does have the Arceus V-Star, so is there... Oh, there he actually does find it. This is how Philip can start to put a closer on this game. Pass at the peak out, a Marnied Kai with no counter stadium in hand, and with only a field of like a Mew and a Genesect as well.
And Genesect's not going to really be able to move out of the active.
No.
That's going to be so hard, especially with 2 escape ropes in prizes from Kai.
Yeah, so here we go, a vital Cramomatic here for Kai. This really, really needs to be heads now. Does he get it? He does!
Whoa.
So, sigh of relief for Kai there, goes to that Rose Tower straight away, no time wasted at all with that, and is able to play down that Rose Tower. Well, he'll shuffle his deck first, and then after all that's done, he'll play down that Rose Tower, and we'll be able to use it to draw some more cards, and then hopefully find a way to just like set up his board a bit more.
An absolutely crucial coin flip, that one. It really could have spelled disaster if they hadn't have flipped aheads, and Philip was probably praying that they would get tails on that one, because they kind of have their perfect board.
Yeah. In fact, oh, that's a really strong hand with the heads on the Cramomatic. Fusion Strike Energy, another Genesect V down, Rose Tower draw. This is starting to look a lot better for Kai.
It really is, very, very quickly, and that's exactly what Mew's good at.
Yeah.
Bouncing back like this, going, cool, all right, I see you're trying to stop me, but actually. And here it comes. So it looks like it's finally going to be a fair fight.
Yeah. So Kai actually going for the quick ball now going for the Fusion Strike system now rather than quick balling, and that might have been a really good decision because now he can play both of the quick balls rather than having to discard one with the other, and now he can fill out his bench with Fusion Strike Pokemon.
Absolutely, and finally we'll have 2 very full benches, but exactly what each player wants from each bench on either side.
And this is going to be super strong for Kai now because really what he wants to dig for now is the switch out, which has to be, given that the 2 escape rope prize needs to find his 1 switch, so that could be tricky, and a Mew VMAX so that he can start actually attacking with it.
Yeah, of course, actually getting the attacker ready after all of this. But they're well on their way, and at the moment, it's not... Yeah.
There's a switch!
Oh...
So, and another Cramomatic, so just the Mew VMAX to find, and that's an insane draw there from Kai.
That was
very, very clutch, and he's got the boss's orders as well.
They really do have most of the pieces of the puzzle here. I didn't think they would manage the boss as well. I didn't realize that was in hand already, so that's fantastic for them.
It was drawn off of the Fusion Strike system just there.
Oh wow.
Quick ball, discarding the double turbo energy, getting another Mew down, so now you have the full 6 Fusion Strike Pokemon out, and all that Kai needs to do now is off of this last Fusion Strike system, find the Mew VMAX, and he's good to go. Yeah, boss's orders onto the Arceus V.
Straight away, and again, we know that Philip wants this, but they need that second Arceus V, so that's why they've got 2. On bench right now, is that Philip is like, right, I am not having any of this time. You are not bossing me out of the combo I want.
Yeah, and oh no, he's not quite there. He has a Cramomatic.
2 Cramomatic. But
only like he has to. All the rest of his hand is supporters. So this is going to be another vital Cram heads. Oh my goodness.
And this is the thing with Mew though. It can rely on Lady Luck.
Yeah, it can, but Kai knows that it's like, I really don't want to do this, but I kind of have to. Here we go. Double Cramomatic. Heads. Does he get it? No, he misses it!
The tails.
Oh, that's absolutely heartbreaking. Kai now missing the insane tempo attack. And now instead just has to, go retreat into the other Mew and pass. That's horrendous for Kai.
That's not what you want after that solid recovery. Every other puzzle piece in place. Bossing the Arceus. And then losing it just at the last second.
Just missing the actual attacker you need to do the thing.
The final attack just couldn't happen there. That is absolutely devastating for Kai.
Yeah, F's in the chat for Kai. Really well deserved. That's an unreal miss there. But this is now the opportunity for Philip to come back into this. He's got the Arceus V-Star up. There's going to be a Starbuff coming out, so going to grab another pass to the peak straight away, I imagine.
Yeah, well, they already had it last turn, and they passed to the peak before they Starburst, leaving the Starburst as a possibility this time, which is really nice for themselves. They left that as a little treat for later. Yeah,
yes, they absolutely did, no question there. So Starburst being fired off, able to, of course, search any 2 cards from the deck and put them into the hand. I think I saw Philip also did grab a Melanie, so maybe just wanted to use that to set up the Arceus in the active, maybe, drawing some cards with that. Is there a water energy in the discard pile? I guess, oh, Philip can put one in there, of course, with the make-do from the Cinccino.
That's one of the really nice combos about this deck is that if you do have the Raihan or the Melanie, you can just make do.
Yeah, Philip just drew 3 cards from the Cinccino. I did think that, but okay, they were able to put it. Oh, okay. So I think Philip thought that he was playing the Melanie, but kind of sort of fought ahead a little bit. Yes. Oh no. I was just about to say that. I thought that Philip drew 3 cards off the Cinccino. Of course, yeah. Thinking ahead, just
a few
steps
too many steps ahead in Philip's head there.
Yeah.
You can see the cogs turning. Oops.
Oopsie whoopsie. So I think because like the order was pretty well preserved, I think it should be pretty easy to resolve. So again, we'll just get the judges' input on that, just to make sure everything is clear with that. And I think so the water energy agreed by both players goes back on top of the deck, and now I think I imagine similar to with Kai's one, there'll probably just be a warning because it was so easily resolved and reversible. Yeah. Now Melanie, yes, now you can draw 3 cards, Philip. There we go.
There we are, because that card would have been drawn with the Melanie regardless of, as long as it was very much agreed that the Melanie was not the card that was drawn as the third, then all is well, really. And
of course the Melanie was searched off the Starbirth, so it's yeah.
But these are some really high stakes, massive pressure these guys are under, so I can certainly understand thinking a little too far ahead.
Yeah, and it does actually happen sometimes. You could just these guys made it all the way to the final. They've played through so many rounds of Pokemon at this point. They're probably dead tired. So it's sometimes it's just inevitable. But thankfully, it was easily resolved in this instance. So here comes the third make do, discarding a Raihan. 2 more cards drawn. Now, does Philip have the double turbo ready to go, or is there going to be? So another move coming into play. There's the Path to the Peak. We knew obviously Philip would have that. There's no way he wouldn't.
No, Starbirthed. I believe Starbirthed that into their hand. So it's again pretty crucial, especially with missing the Mew VMAX, preventing Kai from drawing any more cards.
Yeah,
is crucial.
Yeah,
because they just can't. They can't continue to survive very long without that.
So Philip did get the double turbo, but oh, no V-Star. So that's actually a huge miss. Again, instead just going to have to power edge for 110.
Wow.
So both players, in each instance, both players are getting everything except for like the one piece to actually attack. That's kind of funny.
Mad. Absolutely mad. When you consider how consistent both of these decks are, like on average.
Yeah.
And to do the thing they do well. And missing the attack for a knockout on a Mew V, which is a relatively low HP for a V.
Yes, it is. It's a 180.
It's relatively easy to hit for most decks. So when you miss the 180, that's quite a big shame.
It is, but oh, look here. Akai clearly also struggling himself after being hit with that pass at the peak. Just forced to
pass.
Yeah, so boss's orders on the bench RCS with no energy on it, and then just a pass after that. That's that can't be nice.
No, hoping, presumably to try and trap the RKSV in the active spot.
Yeah, just to buy some time. I think it's all really Kai can do. There's like 2 at least a Sparkle in hand, which aren't really doing anything for him right now.
No, so that's a bit of a disaster too.
Yeah, and Philip, meanwhile, back to his turn, plays a level ball to search out a Pumpkaboo.
Yeah, just for deck thinning purposes though, because we got a nice full bench.
Yeah, you do not want to play that down right now, believe me. That's that pass to the peak is putting in all the work here. You do not want to get rid of it and let your opponent actually play the game.
No, certainly not.
In fact, gets discarded straight away with that make do. 2 more cards drawn, and Philip Schulz's hand is stacked with water energy right now.
Absolutely massive. It's going to end up with a huge hand anyway because of all these making do's, and they're the one that control kind of most of the Marnie play in this. So if they're ready to shuffle their hand back, then they're ready to do so. If not, they're going to have a hand potentially bigger than their deck.
Yeah, which is, it kind of reminds me of the Zorok GX days, right, where that would often be the case as well. You just draw so many cards that you think, what, my deck, my hand? This is kind of the other way around from how it usually is.
Absolutely. So it's really interesting to see those tactics working out. And they don't even go for the final mate do. They just say, right, that's time. Let's go for it. So they hit the 180 on the Genesect, which is just a shame because of the double turbo energy.
Yeah.
They're 10 damage off.
10 short. And finally, Kai gets the Ultra Ball. Would have loved to see that earlier, discarding couple of useless cards, and finally able to get that Mew VMAX into play. But goodness, he would have loved to see that earlier. That is just a absolute heartbreaker there.
That's kind of how this game is going, though,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what we're seeing consistently from this. It's very strange but exciting at the same time.
Yeah, it is, and I'm kind of wondering if Kai has any means to retreat this Genesect, because if he did, then like he could at least actually put some damage onto the Arceus V-Star, and then maybe go for a Psychic Leap when he gets hit in return. That would be pretty strong. I don't know if he has the means to do that in his hand, though, especially with no access to draw power and no, just another pass.
Yeah, the 2 escape rope in the prizes aren't going to be helping here either, because that Genesect, well, as proven,
Yes.
is completely trapped.
Yeah, there's no way for Kai to retreat this. In fact, unless Kai takes some prizes, that Genesect is basically stuck there until Kai's able to retreat it, because the 2 escape ropes that Kai plays are in the prize cards.
So if Kai doesn't manage to get a knockout, they have easy access to them, which is interesting.
Oh no! So boss's orders.
Oh dear.
Yeah, bringing up, of course, the bigger attacking threat here, and now kind of forcing Kai into a Psychic Leap play, which is kind of it is correct in the sense of like preserving the prize card tempo, but it also leaves Kai with no attackers on the field.
Yeah, that puts some real pressure on Kai's plays.
It's really, really does, and. Power Pad shuffling a couple of spotters back into the deck.
Yeah, it's leaving Kai with no draw support, no attacker, 2 damaged Vs. They're leaving them with 0 resources.
Yeah, and this is exactly the kind of sort of strength of lock that Philip wants to capitalize on against the Mew deck, and I think Kai realizes that his back is against the wall now, and he's not so far behind to the point where he should give up, not by any means, but
no, not at all.
But this is definitely a bad position for him, and yeah, there we go with the Trinity Nova, 180 damage going onto the Mew VMAX, and then also Philip able to get more energy from the deck and attach it to his bench Pokemon, unless... Oh no, he can't, because all his energy's in his hand!
Yep.
Oh, oh no!
That's what I mean, it's an absolute nightmare, and Philip realizes this. The Psychic Leap here could be... essential. That's Philip's deck. That's how small it is right now.
8 cards. That is nothing, basically.
No, but Philip controls the Marnie-verse here.
Yes.
They have 4 Marnies, and one's in prizes. We've seen at least one used already, but presumably they probably have one in that giant hand of theirs, and they can manage it whenever they want to.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Kai, recognizing that it is probably the best move here, regardless of how it makes things tricky, does go for the Psychic Leap, shuffling that Mew VMAX and all cards attached to it back into the deck. But there, Philip comes in straight away with the Sharon's Care.
Yeah, which is exactly what they were baiting. They were like, right, I want you to get rid of your attacker. I'm going to put some pressure on you to force you to Psychic Leap back into the deck where I know you can't hurt me. And then boom, I'm just going to heal it right off, attach, evolve, gone.
Yeah.
Next Genesect, have some damage.
Yeah, and I mean, Philip still hasn't even taken like a single prize, but it doesn't really matter at this point, right? It's kind of Kai, again, just draw passes.
They have Kai in a complete lock. They can pick them off one by one. They could knock out those Genesect with a Cinccino.
With the energy assist.
Yep, 40 damage, those Cinccino. They can they can do a little bop on that Genesect. That's all it's going to need. They could, just for a laugh,
that actually works. Unbelievable.
They could, yeah. They have the water energy on one Cinccino.
And,
it only takes one energy.
And again, Philip sort of absolutely taking a stranglehold on the dominant position he's in. Boss's orders on the Mew V, recognizing it's the most threatening thing that could actually mount a counterattack, taking the KO on it. And yeah, what do you do here if you're Kai? There's really just not much going on at all on Kai's side. As we do see, one card drawn. There's a Rotom Phone. Okay.
Ooh, that could be helpful.
And there it is, Rose Tower. So that's going to go to the top of the deck straight away. No hesitation at all.
No,
I've been saying it a lot this weekend. I noticed. It's but he knows exactly that's what he needs to get. And now Philip will almost certainly know that is what Kai's put to the top. But you also can't really do anything about it, because what are you going to do? Marnie.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So, it's still going to take a little bit of time. And again, those Genesect, they can't be removed from the board at this point.
No.
A Cinccino can knock them out. And that's a single prizer. So Philip has so much power play right here.
Yeah. And here's another thing Philip can now do free basic energies on the bench Mew V-Star, he can now retreat the active with the double turbo, bring up the other one, and actually take a one-hit knockout on the Genesect V instead.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. And then only 2 prizes away from the big win, taking this to a 3rd game.
Yeah, Philip has an absolute stranglehold on this game. It's, I think it's very safe to say we'll be going to a game 3. Still not going to count out anything, of course. And anything can happen in Pokemon, and it usually does. As there's the old Murray Walkerism for you. Then I imagine we will just see, here's a retreat for the double turbo discard, bringing up the other RCS V-Star, again, with that free basic energy complement, not having any damage reduction on it. Trinity Nova for the KO.
Absolutely. There we go. And one more KO takes it. Can K survive if they wouldn't be able to evolve a Mew?
No.
The Genesect is vulnerable. They don't play any big charms.
Sort of Kai's
echoing horning.
So Kai's situation at this point is kind of realizing that it's even if he is able to mount some kind of attacking pressure this turn, at any point Philip can just boss his orders for the win. That's really the big problem. There's too much to deal with at once right now.
Yeah, and looks like they're just going to try and get an Arceus trapped in the active.
Yeah, this actually might be the one way to do it. So Kai recognizing that there's not many cards left in the deck and that Philip has been through a lot of energy, kind of thinking, okay, yeah, maybe all I do here is just boss his orders up the Arceus V, bring it up, and then hope Philip can't retreat it.
Pulling out every possible stop, not giving up until the bitter end, and that's what we want to see in a finals.
Yes, so Kai taking the small chance of an out he has to win here and capitalizing on it. Just got to pray that Philip doesn't have the out to, just get out of that small, tiny fringe situation.
Absolutely. Let's see how it goes, but...
And then another, yes, so the judge saying, hold on, that is the right amount. So Fusion Strike system, able to draw up until 4 in hand.
The Mew VMAX, a power tablet. These aren't looking too useful.
No, he wants a Mew V down, but he's probably not going to be able to find it. And is having to commit a bunch of power tablets just to thin out the hand. Another Fusion Strike system. That's an energy, but they was already playing one this turn, so I think it's just going to have to be a maybe retreat into the Meloetta and pass.
Yeah, it's not looking positive. If Philip can just retreat that Arceus, that it's very much starts to become game over. They might have to work their way through 2 price cards manually.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, double turbo energy, boss's orders. That will be all she wrote for game 2, and we are going to one final game in this best of 3 series here in the finals at Bremen.
Oh, it's just fantastic to see where they really are going toe-to-toe. 2 fantastic players, 2 scary decks. And we're getting to see a 3rd game, which is just fantastic. It'll be interesting to see if this goes anything like game 1 or 2, or whether they manage to do something in between.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one benefit here for Kai is that, of course, he will be going first. So he'll have at least 1 turn guaranteed to set up everything he wants and to hopefully set up a better board than he did in that game. Because I think his slower setup in that game was really what hindered him, ultimately.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal. And it's really clear that Philip was able to take the lead on that. They kind of had the perfect board set up from the beginning. So it was definitely frustrating for Kai to sit there and have to pass so many turns. I completely admire them, though, for keeping on through that and trying to dig for the resources they needed to make a comeback. We've certainly seen crazier comebacks this weekend.
We certainly have.
So it definitely could happen. So, yeah, I'm just really pleased to see that these 2 are really doing their best.
Yeah. So here we have it, the Philip Schulz, the decorated veteran, Kai Wainwright, the up-and-coming with, the close but no cigars, and now in his first big breakout performance, who is going to take the title home today? Let's hear it in the chat, folks. If you're cheering for Kai, if you're cheering for Philip, let us know who you're rooting for in this finals match.
As they just get ready to go in for their final game, I imagine the nerves.
Imagine the nerves.
Oh, goodness. I bet they are absolutely high. Let's go.
High as can be.
Their prize cards and see if these are going to be telling of what kind of game it's going to be.
Yes, so
Ooh.
Prizes for Philip. Memory capture we don't really care about too much. 1 Arceus V-Star. Oh, 2 Arceus V-Star.
They run 3.
Okay, so yeah, that's...
It is not great.
It's not great. And also, Kai prized both of his escape ropes again!
Kai, what's with these escape ropes, buddy? Do you not want them?
No, apparently not. It's... Meanwhile, switching cups.
Switching cups.
There we go.
Haven't seen that play yet today.
No, we haven't. And that's actually a really nice find early on because, of course, you really don't want the Mew VMAX early on. You want it later once you set up everything. So, yeah, just switch it, cups it back into the deck and
shuffle it back in with a quick ball.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Wonderful. So,
and a start with an EV for Philip isn't fantastic either, but I'm sure they have lots of ways of getting more lovelies on the bench. And at very least, a V-search could help if they're going to need it.
Yes. So... I can see it's a pretty even split in the chat for who we want to win. There's lots of hashtag Mongoose fills in the chat we see, but there's some Kai fans in the audience as well. So I think both these players having a lot of support here from the chat, which is great to see.
Good, that's what we really want ultimately, and I think it's setting up to be a bit of a crazy one. We're also 1 Fusion Strike energy down, which is interesting to note, just for that Meloetta damage.
Yes. I mean, better 1 than 2, because at least if you 2 prize, it means that you can't really pull off any kind of crazy plays. But yeah, Kai's setup here already looking a little bit better. Quick ball to grab a Genesect V, and then an Ultra ball to grab a Mew V. And yeah, again, just having a quick look to see what he has access to, and probably thinking, double escape rope prize again? Really?
At this point, they're probably wondering whether they remembered to put the escape ropes in the deck.
Yes. So, yeah, one last shuffle of the deck, and yeah, finally putting that pile of cards into the discard. Rose Tower, another great find. Kind of, again, you ideally wanted to save it for a counter stadium, but you want to find more cards at this point, so probably for the best to just go for it.
Yeah, very similar to last game, where they kind of needed to commit it early just to build that bench, because the Genesects are so crucial, and they are missing one.
Yeah, and also actually, oh no, Kai hasn't been able to find a Battle VIP pass. Finds another Mew, but kind of not really a great start for considering what he would have wanted. So actually, this is kind of rough.
Not ideal from Kai's perspective, but let's see what Philip can do.
Yes.
Because their prize cards are not fantastic. They've got 1 basic out, but the level ball.
So, level ball going to obviously find himself a Minccino off of that. And they're going to look through to, so obviously he has a 2 Arceus V-Star prized, which could of course get quite awkward.
Yeah, it does limit what Philip can do, because that Sharon's Care loop can still happen.
Yes.
But it gives limitations. It's scarier when Marnie comes along.
It is.
Kai, because they do run 1. So there's a little bit more risk involved, but they can still do it. And I've seen, definitely over this weekend, 2 Arceus V-Star prized from people who have then pulled it out of the bag still. So it is absolutely possible. Yeah.
Philip actually, his body language was kind of interesting. It kind of looked like he was looking through and sort of looked a little bit exasperated, perhaps sort of realizing, oh, snap, I have 2 my Arceus V-Stars prize, got to be a little bit careful here. Does grab the Minccino off of the level ball there, but is taking his time playing stuff down. Actually, going to go for a quick ball, discarding a boss's orders.
Yeah.
So that's one of the 3 he plays down.
Yeah, we know that Philip generally likes to have 3 Cinccino out if they can, as early as possible. So trying to get 3 Minccino on bench and maybe an Arceus this turn is important to them. If they've got to V-search for the Arceus, then that's fine. So it's better they go for those Minccino. They have gone for an Arceus in this one, though, so maybe they're realizing how important it is they get that down as soon as possible so they can start searching for that 1 V-Star. Yeah,
and actually, Philip only plays 2 boss's orders, not 3, so actually you'll only have access to 1 more until he's able to find his PAL pad.
So that alone is quite concerning.
Yeah. Level ball getting played again, so having after another one coming down earlier, so I think just going to be grabbing 2, well, going to be able to start with 2 Mincinos down turn 1, which is, of course, quite nice. Not quite the 3 you would usually want, but it's still pretty decent. Rose Tower after a double turbo attachment onto the Arceus V. But after that, just a pass. So, okay, no pass at the peak, which means that Kai can maybe actually try to mount that sort of scary knockout in one go on the Arceus V. It's not impossible, but he still needs to find quite a lot here. There's the Rose Tower draw, and then there's Boss's Orders. I mean, you could go for it now. It's greedy, but you need to draw more cards off the Genesect anyway, so maybe that's just actually the best move. But there is a lot more you need other than that as well, so that could actually just be quite risky. It's a real tough one, honestly.
Yeah, I think preventing Philip from being able to set up in the way they want to is one of the ways that they can be stopped.
Yes.
But they have committed that energy early to the Arceus, which is really nice because they haven't been able to do that in the last couple of games.
Not consistently, no. So
actually that gives them a little bit of an advantage now as well because they can attack next turn.
Yeah, they can. Now Kai here getting the maximum out of not much going on in that sort of sense, able to do the Fusion Strike system for 3 extra cards. But, oh no, none of those. He draws another Boss's Orders, a Pal Pad, and then, what was that? Is that another Rose? No, it was Marnie. Kai not finding the draws he needs at the crucial moment, unfortunately. And, the one saving grace being that at least he knows that Philip might, has to retreat this Minccino to get another attack going. But that was a real big missed opportunity for Kai there, unfortunately for him.
It was. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, though, and that little dead hand is not looking too great.
Yeah, and Philip might really be able to capitalize on this slow start from Kai, because although Philip's start is also slow in and of itself, Philip's deck can kind of make do a slower start a little bit easier than Kai's list can, and it's just kind of unfortunate that the starts have played out this way for Kai. There's, meanwhile, Rose Tower being used from Philip, able to draw 2 cards from that and sort of get use at the opponent's stadium, which is always nice when you can do that. And then a Make Do, discarding another Arceus V, drawing 2 cards. I see a Sharon's Care and something else. There's an but there is an Evolution Incense, so Philip could use that to grab that Arceus V star straight away and go for that insanely powerful star buff ability.
Yeah, well, they can, because obviously they're going to want to try and shut everything down on the Mew side of things with a pass to the peak as soon as possible. If they get their one ability for the whole game out of the way, then they have the opportunity to shut everything else down with an ability and a rule box for the rest of the game if they can. And that power over Kai's dead hand could be really crucial.
Yeah. So that's going to be... Oh, has the Melanie ready to go. And...
But now that it gives them the opportunity to attach for turn to retreat the Minccino.
Yeah, so it's going to be, Cinccino, another Cinccino found, so some more Make Do is going to be coming here. Draws 2 cards.
It's interesting because both players have had slow starts for the last 2 games now.
Yeah, they have, and kind of like we were just saying before, Kai's deck suffers with slow starts a lot more than Philip's does because, the Arceus is a slower deck by nature. It can grind out a slower game a lot better, I think, than Kai's deck can, especially in a situation like this, where you've been passed the peat and now you can't use any of your draw abilities.
Yeah, Mew is built for going fast. Mew wants speed and wants to go as quick as it can, take knockouts and go home. And it's just not happening. Philip's not letting them.
No.
And it's great to see because it's exactly what they want. But even on the turns that Philip hasn't actively done anything to slow Kai down, Kai's deck's done it itself.
Yeah. And the only saving grace here being that Philip didn't have a way to get the Cinccino out of the active. So, yeah, now Kai has the opportunity to go for a Marnie and just pray that he draws another stadium.
Yeah, it's a really interesting situation. So we're going to have a look and see how it goes. But at the end of the day, we know that when Mew gets going, there's little that can stop it.
Yeah. 5 cards drawn for Kai, going to be vital. Does he find the no stadium yet, but we see another Cramomatic. Oh. Here we go again, Amy.
Coin flip.
My heart can't take this.
I don't know how many more coin flips we can survive.
It's a heads! Oh my god. That is exactly what Kai needed to see, and now he's able to get the Rose Tower down and he will be able to power through the deck and start setting up again.
They managed to get it. That is incredible. Can't believe they managed to get their heads just at the right moment.
Absolutely incredible. And is that okay? I think Kai forgot to discard the Marnie earlier, and not quite done with the search yet. There we go.
It's great to see a deck absolutely fight so hard to do what it wants to do. It's so fantastic. I love games like this because they're so tense, because they absolutely keep you biting your nails the entire time.
No kidding. So Rose Tower goes down, yeah, countering that pass to the peak, and with, of course, the low hand size from Kai, able to make use of that Rose Tower as well, just drawing the one extra card first, maybe deciding if he wants to use the Fusion Strike system first, or, oh no, playing the Power Tablet, yeah, recognizing that the extra draw is kind of super important here. Now playing the Rose Tower, draws 2, and, oh, that's good. That's really, really good. Double Turbo Energy and a Genesect.
And a Genesect. Oh, wow, so this could make a huge difference.
Yeah, sorry. So this is exactly what Kai would have wanted. And able to do a Fusion Strike system from the... You're drawing to the... Goes on a quick ball, discarding another Battle VIP pass. Genesect going down.
Another Genesect just to help it along the way. Will we see another pass to the peak early enough to stop those Genesects hitting it off now? Because 3 Genesect is really what we've seen throughout this weekend, that is really strong enough to keep Mew going the way it wants to.
Yeah.
And with 2 almost ready to go Mew VMAX.
Yeah, it's true. It's, it is a bit of a shame. I think the one thing that, of course, all this came off of the back of Amani, so Kai can't boss his orders this turn, but that would have been the absolute ideal, right? But in this instance, kind of just has to be content with Kengo Chinchino. But to be fair, his board is now so much better set up now, to the point where I think he's a lot less... he actually has more of a chance going into this game, essentially, now.
Both boards, really strong. 6 prize cards on either side.
But Kai, as long as Kai finds a way to get this... Meloette out of the active, he will be taking the first prize, but again, with 2 escape rope prized, kind of needs to... Oh, is it going to be another Chromatic?
For the Rotom phone.
Yeah. Oh, Kai needs to shuffle the other card. Oh, no, actually, he's not even going to bother, so...
No, he's going in with the Ultra Ball.
And just going to shuffle the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, so didn't want that at all. This is so tense.
Yeah. One last Fusion Strike system here to try and find the switch out. Does Kai find it? 4 cards drawn. It's not impossible, but it's also not... Oh, there's another Chromatic. Wait, does he have an item to discard?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, yeah, so he just has to pass. Oh, no.
Oh, you hate to see it after all that grinding.
Yeah. I mean, at least, if you draw another item, you could do Chromatic and maybe go for another flip. Just to keep us on our toes.
After all of that, there was so much digging, and the Mews are ready to go, but just not quite enough.
Not quite enough indeed. Air Balloon on the Chinchino, a vital find for Philip, because now he can actually retreat into something and attack. I think the main thing what we want to find this turn is a boss's orders to start, picking up the tempo, maybe take a quick, well, you wouldn't be able to take a KO on Genesect because, of course, the double turbo makes it so that you're 10 short, but maybe just put some pressure on a Mew VMAX, and so to get a hand on tempo that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Philip's just so well set up at this point. It's exactly the board they want. It's a really strong position for them to be in. Looks like they might go for evolving the Eevee now just to boost its HP. Yeah,
because that way it's a little bit sort of less vulnerable to sort of an easy pick-off later on. It makes sense. Either that or maybe if he doesn't want that to happen, could just use it as discard fodder as well, just to essentially thin that deck out, which of course is a skill that many players make use of. But discard it straight away with the make do.
Yeah. They're in a really strong position at the moment, so it's not like they need to boost its HP for any particular reason. They're just protecting themselves against escape ropes.
Yes. There's make do number 2, discarding a level ball. Draws a water energy, and Carter couldn't quite see. Pass to the peak goes down. Yep, that's an important find.
Straight away, and shutting down that hand again, but will we see it stick around for very long?
Yeah. It is slightly less bad news for Kai this time because, of course, the board is looking a lot better this time. There's quite a few things to in the hand I noticed as well. In fact, there could be... oh, wait, there's the Rose Tower's there.
Is it in hand?
It is in hand, yeah.
So they do have the counter already. Do they want to play it yet?
Well, this is the thing, because sometimes if you have the counter ready, you want to be a little bit calculated. If you don't need to dig for something, maybe you just play it a little bit more conservatively, hold it until the vital moment where you need it, and this turn maybe just be content with doing an attack and going for the 2-shot. Yeah, we just Mew down, double turbo energy on it, and still no way to. Oh wait, Kai can play the chromatic now, maybe.
They can, and it's interesting just to see how players of this level can be patient with their plays enough.
Yes. I think what Kai is maybe worried about is wasting an echoing horn, because that's what you'd have to discard with the chromatic player. And actually, yeah, Kai playing it safe, just holding it, going for the 2-shot. Technoblast comes in, 190 damage, and now back to Philip, where he's really going to need to find a Sharon's Care this turn.
Can they dig hard enough to find it? Thinning the deck already, getting rid of Pump Kaboot out of there. Probably going to make do it away. They don't really need to control the stadiums in this game with that style of card.
We did see there was one Sharon's Care still left in the deck, so that absolutely is something he can dig for. And I think it's especially vital because we know for a fact that there's 2 Arceus V-Star in the prizes, so if this first one goes down, that could spell very, very bad news for Philip. Yeah,
they really need that Sharon right now, and then they can promote the fresh one, the big charm, and 3 water energy, which does mean that they can knock out Genesect, which is lovely.
Yeah, there's Make Do number 1. Didn't find it from there. Got 2 more to do still. Make Do number 2. Debating what to discard. Goes for a Water NGN. 1, 2. Nope, still not found it there. 2 more draws to find this Sharon's Care. There's one already in the discard pile, so that's yeah. I believe there's only 2 in the list. And but there's a power pad there, so
increasing their chances of getting that right now.
Yeah, so power pad shuffling back in. A boss's order is also important because to close out the game, and a Sharon's Care, which is absolutely vital to find right now. So one last make do can definitely get him where he needs to be. He doesn't necessarily need to. Obviously, if he does Sharon's Care, he can't use boss's orders this turn, so that's not ideal. But I think just healing this Arceus V is more important right now. Did he actually hit it? He did.
He did. Yeah, it's much more important. Yeah, it just means that obviously the Arceus that's going to be promoted has the potential of 1-hit KOs, whereas the other one just didn't.
Yeah, massive turn of events for Philip as increasing the odds slightly with the power pad back into the deck with the Sharon's Care. It means that he was actually able to find the Sharon's Care, healing off that damaged Arceus V-Star, bringing up a fresh one, and now able to start to soften up this Mew VMAX.
Yeah, absolutely huge play. Really well dealing with the fact they only have 1 Arceus V in play, making sure they're using their resources well, bringing back that Sharon's Care was really important. They're aware that they might be out of utilization of an Arceus V for a while. Now, Mew, if it can 1-hit KO this Arceus V-Star, which would be difficult because they'd have to commit pretty much every resource in the book, and I think they might have already used too many power tablets for that.
Possibly, but we'll have to see now. There's off the table again. Starting with Chromatic and...
we didn't spot that, did we?
That was a heads.
They're going in, so definitely a heads. Let's see if they can come back from this.
Actually considering a boss's orders, interestingly enough. Okay. So maybe Kai's thinking this turn I just accept that the active Mew is going down, and I just boss's orders the bench one and attack with the active, or could even, oh no, of course, the Kai needs the damage modifier to KO the bench one, so actually I'm going to boss's orders the bench one, bring up the fresh Mew VMAX, and now we can see the KO course with the choice belt. That's going to be enough to take the KO. So
brilliant first KO for Kai there. So Philip and Kai starting to get a little bit more neck and neck, taking knockout for knockout now.
Yes, so Kai not taking the first prize, but sort of taking a now 1 prize lead from Philip in this game. Philip does still have a fully charged Arceus V-Star ready to go though, so it's going to be vital for him now to find a boss's order this turn to bring back the Mew VMAX and KO it and actually get some more of those Arceus V-Stars out of the prizes.
Yeah, getting those out, if they don't get them out early enough, it could spell disaster, but I'm hoping that they are able to keep using this temporary Sharon loop they've got going on that will help them to victory.
Yeah, well, because of the power pad putting 1 Sharon back, there's now 1 more Sharon's Care left in the deck for Philip. So as long as Kai isn't able to make the 1 shot and has to force into a 2 shot, Philip just needs to find the Sharon's Care to really be in a good stead and sort of go ahead in that prize race tempo.
Philip also put boss's orders back in with that power pad earlier as well, because obviously they only had the 2 in the list.
Yes.
Had to get rid of 1 early with the ball search, but we do have access to 1 more again, so not too much of an impossibility to think that a Mew Max could be being knocked out very soon.
And here we go, actually, Philip, not even bothering a mate do here, just saying, all right, you know what, I want to soften up both of VMAXs, I'm just going to go with this Arceus V-Star into the active and hit you for 200 again.
Well, quite right, because Kai can't Psychic Leap both of them on the same turn.
No, no, that's very true.
One will have to remain damaged.
And of course, Kai still has the Counter Stadium in hand and hasn't played it yet, so I think now it's just getting to the point where he's thinking, do I now go for the all-in turn? He needs to have a calculation as to whether he thinks he can reach for it with the amount of power tablets he has left. And the fact that he's putting that power tablet to the top of the deck tells me he thinks that now is the time to go for it. So we know he has the Counter Stadium ready. He's been holding it for exactly the right time. I think now is probably a turn you go for it, because if you take out this Arceus V-Star, I think you're in a good spot to win from there.
Really good position, because Philip will not be able, will struggle to get another prize card and might not be able to recover from it, even if they do, because if they don't draw those Arceus V-Star from the prizes, then it's going to be really tough for them to come back from it. Oh, they're going for this escape rope. I
think it's because Kai has the boss ready to go already, so he can sort of like bring it back, and then more just wants to guarantee that he hits all these power tablets, so he needs to thin as many cards out from the hand as possible.
Yeah, and the Arceus also has a big charm, so they know they're going to have to hit big numbers.
Yes, so trying to maximize the odds here as best as possible, and now Kai ums and ahs about it. And that is, the Rose Tower finally goes down, and the power to defeat gets countered, and there's no way that Kai wouldn't have gone to the final without doing exactly this in every single game. He's being extremely calculating with the numbers, knowing the odds of, finding stuff at the right time and making sure that he does his plays in exactly the right sort of sequence order to get there.
Oh, there's another power tablet.
There's another power tablet there, right, okay.
And a Chromatic, so... Oh.
So it's 4 damage modifiers that you need to KO the Arceus V-Star with the big charm on it. It's like 210 base from the Technoblast, and then 3 more is 90, and another, so that would get you to 300, just 10 short, so you need the 4. Kai's already hit 1 damage modifier. Choice Belt is the second. There's the third. Just needs 1 more power tablet, and he can actually get the KO on this Arceus. But he's umming and ahhing about it. Has he burned through the rest of them already?
I think he had to quick ball 1 early game.
Maybe he doesn't remember. Okay, he's going to look through now, so...
We didn't quite spot that.
No. If he goes to the boss's order, surely he must think he can reach for it, because if you can reach for it, surely you would do. But no.
I believe they reserve themselves to not being able to use all of their power tablets.
That's interesting, okay. Wow, so now instead, okay, going in with the Mew VMAX without the Choice Belt, because with 1 power tablet, the Technoblast does 220 after the damage reduction from the double turbo. That is still exactly enough to take the knockout. Kai takes 2 more prize cards. And now... It all comes down to this.
Philip definitely can make a comeback. 2 damaged Mew VMAXs is terrifying.
It is, yeah. And, of course, it's going to be very tricky for Kai to see this through to the end, because I think with that the other power tablet being played, now I actually don't know if he can reach for a KO on the Arceus V-Star, because we know that there was 1 used earlier.
Yeah, I mean, they can go the slow route, and they can take 2 individual prizes from 2 Cinccino or an Eevee.
Yeah, that's true.
So they could manage just by taking 2 single prizes, but Philip's probably going to do their best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Although, hold on, there's actually something else that could come into play here. Kai still has access to, as far as we're aware, all of his Fusion Strike energy. So maybe, oh no, not anymore. never mind. So there could have been a potential for like a surprise Meloetta for the win, but with that boss's orders now onto the Mew VMAX and again KO, that option is now taken away.
Absolutely, and hopefully, oh, and a bath.
Uh-oh, this might be game over for Kai at this point. Yeah, I think what Kai was thinking was take an easy prize on the RCSV on the bench with the, whilst he still could, and then finish off with a Meloetta. Kai can't do that anymore.
No.
Wow, that is absolutely ferocious from Phil. No holds barred as he does everything he can to take an absolute control of this game. And does Kai even have another stadium left? He plays 3, right? But I can't remember if he's been through 2 or 3 of them.
I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, Philip's deck is very thin, so there is that going for Kai, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's crazy because they've got a huge bench at the moment, Philip, as well.
Yeah.
And they don't have another Arceus, so they have fully committed to this being their last Arceus, right?
Yes, they have. So it all comes down to this last turn, essentially, and whether Kai is able to mount some kind of response to this. It's going to be absolutely down to the wire. Kai recognizing the state of affairs, goes to the quick ball, discards the Mew V, finds the going to go for the Meloetta there. Not as useful as it maybe could have been when those 2 Fusion Strike engines were still in play. Sadly, that's no longer an option afforded, but does go for the Elisa Sparkle all the same.
Yeah, managing to accelerate onto Meloetta and Mew there. That's in the active, which doesn't have any damage on it yet. I don't remember how many bosses Phillips used now, but they did put 1 back in with a power pad earlier. Yeah. So we'll have to see if they can boss that damage to Mew. That is...
Okay, here's the right play here. Kai just going for the 2 shots by going for the Melodious Echo. But there is the boss's orders. Philip Schulz takes game 3, takes the match, and Philip Schulz is your Bremen regional champion for 2022.
What an absolutely fantastic game, right down to the wire. Both of them fought so hard for that. There were twists and turns the whole way through. You could not call whose game that was right until the bitter end.
No, that was an absolute nail-biter. And Philip Schulz, arguably, taking on what could be seen as an unfavorable matchup, right? We talked to Stefan earlier, Stefan Ivanov, about how, as an Arceus player, Mew was one of the few things he really didn't want to face. But, of course, with Philip, his list having the 4 paths to the peak to really put a stopper on the Mew's antics, and that coming into full effect there. And Philip, taking down the Bremen Regional Championships in the Masters Division. Unbelievable. Wow. Yeah. Huge congratulations to Philip. And huge commiserations to Kai as well. His best ever finish at Regional Championships, now a Regionals finalist. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely over the moon with that regardless.
Oh, who wouldn't be? And honestly, Philip has really done a cracking job because they brought this deck, made it on the Friday, and saw it through to the bitter end. They truly believed in it, and clearly the deck believed back.
Yeah, and if you wanted to tell like a tale of 2 fortunes, of course, so Philip Schulz came up with this with, I think, a bunch of the other guys from Limitless TCG, as well as Robin Schulz, his brother. Robin went 0-3 drop with this deck. Philip won the tournament. That is about as stark a contrast as it gets.
It's absolutely wild, and it's so good to see something new win a Pokemon Regionals. Lately.
Yeah, it is a brand new Arceus variant, not seen before. I think I remember at the very start of day 1 when, of course, we commented over a game with this very deck, and it was Philip indeed playing, wasn't it, or was it Robin? No, it was Philip.
Both of them did.
Yeah, both of them did. Yeah, but either way, and we were saying at the beginning that pretty much the only time we'd seen this variant of like Arceus with Cinccino before was that maybe at like league play and maybe online tournaments and nothing else. There were no real big showings for it, and now it's come out of nowhere to take the win here at Bremen.
Absolutely, and we were finding that actually on stream yesterday.
Yes.
No one could solidify a win with it yesterday, and then all of a sudden, we've had this brilliant turn of events where Philip just takes the win, which I just could not be happier for him.
Yeah, huge congratulations to him again. He's got to be so proud of himself, doing the whole team proud, as it were, being the one person playing this deck to make it through to day 2, and then to top 8, and now all the way through to the finals, and taking the whole tournament down with Arceus Cinccino.
Absolutely amazing. And we saw a really great breadth of decks across the 2 days as well. We have seen so many different Arceus variants. We've seen Decidueye do well.
We have,
We've seen We've seen some wheezing. We've seen a V-Union.
U2 V-Union.
We've seen all sorts. I think it's been a very beautifully varied weekend. So very grateful to all the players who brought all of the spice and all of those huge variations of decks.
Yeah. So if you were to look back over the whole 2 days of casting and the whole tournament, what would you say was your absolute highlight of the whole thing?
I've got to say, I'm a sucker for Decidueye. I was so pleased to see somebody bring Decidueye and do well, even with the huge threat of Mew here.
Yes.
Making day 2 with Decidueye with the threat of Mew in the capacity that it was at this tournament, it was huge.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something I'm really proud of. I'm proud of that player. How about yourself?
For me, actually, it's a bit of a personal one, and it's perhaps not one that we'd really expect that you might think of immediately, but getting to interview Jake Wolven yesterday after he won his game really meant a lot to me. Jake is one of my longest time friends in the game, and to see him doing well and getting to sort of interview him after his win really meant a lot to me, because it was just really nice to see him doing well again, and so getting to have that sort of more personable chat in the interview setting was really, really nice. I was so happy for him. Unfortunately, Jake actually made it to day 2 and then lost the winning in for top 8 in the last round of Swiss off stream. So, I mean, he still had a very good finish today, of course, but unfortunately just short making top 8 today.
Just short. And as I'm sure many players worked super hard this weekend, it's lovely just to see everybody enjoying Pokemon in person again.
Yeah, it really is. Now, we are going to cut to a quick break now, and then when we come back, we are going to have an interview with our regionals winner, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back with our winner's interview.
welcome everyone here at the Regional Championship Bremen. I'm here with the winner of the tournament, Philipp Schulz. How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, I'm feeling amazing, of course. Like, I think the finals was really exciting, and the whole day was really, was so nerve-wracking to play this deck. I mean, you've probably all seen how the games are. It's like back and forth, and everything can happen. And yeah, I'm just really happy that it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, it's amazing. So in Lille, someone from France won. Here in Germany, someone from Germany won. I think that's a very interesting coincidence, or maybe not a coincidence at all. So I think
advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So the most interesting thing about this tournament was probably the deck you played. Can you explain to our viewers, like, who came up with the idea and how you figured it out? When did you decide to play this?
Yeah, I was testing all kinds of RCS and Inteleon decks. And yeah, with Inteleon, I was kind of scared of the Jolteons popping up and doing really well. Like in Lille, I played an Inteleon deck, and I played against one Jolteon guy who went first, turned to Jolteon, and I was like, well, I can't play the game. So yeah, so instead of playing Inteleon, I decided to be part of the problem and play Jolteon myself. And yeah, when I was testing like stuff with B-Barrel, with like Berserker to like a control style, I was testing real control decks as well with Jolteon, but like everything was clunky and didn't work out. And I felt like the meta decks also are quite clunky, so I just wanted something that doesn't break too much and hopefully makes my opponent break. So I think that's a nice thing about the deck. You have Minccino, which is a good opener, you have Eevee, which is a good opener, you have so many good attacks, and then you just try to set up, disrupt your opponent, and hope that it works out.
Yeah, when did you decide to play this deck? Was it like a last minute thing, or did you have some time to properly prepare?
Yeah, as I said, I was testing different decks, but this particular deck, I was thinking about it in the train coming here, so on Friday, and then at like Friday at 10 p.m. I built it. I tested like 2 best of 3s, and I was like, all right, let's play this. How do I get the cards? So it's the first time in my life, I think, that I built the deck the night before, and I guess it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly. So we had your brother on stream and the very first day, and then we also saw other people playing the same list. How many people actually did play the list?
It was me, Robin, Nico, and Fabienne, so 4 people.
Ah. How did the rest of the crew do?
Yeah, it didn't go too well for them. Robin had a really unfortunate start with hard pairings, bad matchups. Then Fabienne was so tired after 7 rounds that he didn't try to go for day 2 anymore. He just ID'd his last rounds, like he could have made day 2. And Nico had a good start, but when he had some unfortunate manis and bricked a bit, and then he was out and also dropped, didn't want to play for like top 64 or something anymore.
Oh yeah, that's kind of sad to hear, but at least one of you made it,
exactly.
right?
They were the necessary sacrifices. They had to take the bad matchup with bad RNG, and yeah, then I could get lucky.
Yeah, so speaking about matchups, against how many Inteleons did you play, and then against how many Mew did you play this whole tournament?
I think I played against 4 Inteleon. One of which played Galarian and Weezing, so my Jolteon didn't even do anything. 2 of which were Urshifu, and I don't play Dunsparce, so it was also pretty rough. And I played against a lot of Mew. It's hard to count. At least like 3 in top 8, and then like a lot more.
So how useful was the Jolteon then in the end? It doesn't sound like you faced so much Inteleon.
The Jolteon barely did anything, to be honest. Against the Urshifus, it was a good threat. So they like focused on other stuff, and then I could mani them and hope that they break, stuff like that. The Eevee was really good, and I got good use out of Jolteon. With Memory Capsule you can use Eevee's attack, which is pretty good, so that's the best thing Jolteon did, I would say. No, I'm joking. Jolteon was nice, of course, in the Inteleon matchups, but yeah, the star of the deck was more like Cinccino and I guess Mani and Path.
Yeah, Mani and Path did put in a lot of work, and we also saw you taking with Eevee a lot of times on stream. So yeah, that's really nice. What were like the decks that you were kind of afraid of facing? Or
Urshifu. Like basically anything else is fine, I feel, but Urshifu I don't play Dunsparce, so I get hit for weakness. But thankfully Todd Radcliffe wasn't here, so I didn't have to play Dunsparce. I thought the other people are dropping it anyways. I still faced 2, and it did pretty well. So I was lucky that I didn't have to face it in top cut or something like that.
Yeah, so amazing games. Yeah, I think at this point, do you have some shout outs to give people that you thank for your win here today?
Yeah, thanks to everyone that landed me the cards. Thanks a lot to Fabien Puyol in particular. He's like really helpful with like getting all the cards and organizing stuff. Also a good waiter, by the way. And yeah, I don't know. Thanks to everyone that helped me prepare, and thanks to everyone that makes the tournaments fun to be here. To all my friends. Yeah.
All right, so I will now hand over the medal. All right, so here we have Philipp Schulz, the official winner of the Regional Championship Bremen. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. It was an amazing stream. A lot of stress from our side and a lot of firsts, but I think generally it was a nice experience. Let us know what you thought. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you maybe next season, and also enjoy the stream over at Vancouver.